to make some homemade yogurt, you should not buy yogurt from the store because this is so good. This is so economical and you know what's going into it. So if I don't tell you that this is homemade, you would literally not believe that it's homemade. This is actually a jar of yogurt that you buy at the store. I've started using this as the starter, so that's how I get my culture. But what's in here is actually my homemade. So I'm just gonna like show you how creamy it is. See how, look at that. So let's make super yummy homemade yogurt. Very simple ingredients. So I'm gonna need, so from each batch, I leave one to make the next batch. So each batch I make about 8 to 9 of these jars. Of course, you can use cups, you can use, but it's really good if it's a glass, whatever it is, a jar or cup or anything. So I'm gonna need one. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of dried milk. This is more for that creaminess, and you know how like you see how it's so firm, so this kind of helps that. You don't need to use it if you don't have it, or so you can bypass it, but it's really good for that firmness and creaminess. So I have here about, say, 3 tablespoons of dried milk. I'm using this, I just found at the store. You can use Nido, or this is what I'm using. And then I have a liter of milk. So I have here half a liter, so 500 milliliters of cold milk. And then the other half is warmed up. So I leave it to, it gets to a boil, then I turn it off. And then for very, very little flavor of that little hint of sweetness, I have here, it's not even like maybe 2, I would say 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm also gonna need vanilla. I'm gonna go grab it in a second, but I'm gonna start making it and I'll grab the vanilla. So first, I'm gonna pour my cold milk. I'm gonna use 1 jar of either store-bought. Of course, if you're gonna make it for the first time, you're gonna buy it from the store. So one thing about when you go to buy it from the store, it's very, very important. If you can find, let's see, if you can use this, actually it's good. If you can find plain whole milk yogurts, so plain whole milk yogurts, maybe vanilla is okay, or also Greek yogurt, but it has to be whole milk. Don't buy the whatever 2% fat or 0 fat. That's not gonna work. You need that creaminess, you need the culture and the creaminess, you need whole milk. So just make sure you get whole milk yogurt, whether it's regular or Greek. Greek is pretty good too. So I'm just gonna add my ingredients and then I'm gonna whisk it. I don't know if you can hear, but my little oven just heated up. I put it to 450, and then I'm gonna turn it off when I put my tray of jars of yogurt. So I'm gonna add my warmed hot milk. So it's very important to use a strainer just so you don't get any lumps. Gonna keep stirring. So I'm gonna add vanilla. So you can either use so the liquid version or the sugar, vanilla sugar. I just use the cap. I'm gonna add maybe like a cap and a half. So this is basically making kind of plain, again, I barely used any sugar, plain vanilla yogurt. All right. This way. So I have here 8 jars, and I have a tray container, which I'm just gonna cover it afterwards with the tea towels. I'm not gonna cover it with any hot water. I mean, you could, but you don't have to, because I'm gonna just put it in a warmed up, pre-warmed oven, and then turn off the oven. So I'm gonna still need my strainer. There we go. So this is gonna make 8 pretty full jars. You can stretch it to 9 if you don't fill it all the way. So again, so this is 8, and then I'm gonna use one of them for the next batch, the next time I make another batch. And this is only 1 liter of milk. So a gallon can make 8 times 4. So here I have my toaster oven. I turned it on to 450, and then I'm gonna turn it off and then put my tray. It's really cool that this tray fits perfectly in this toaster oven, so I don't have to heat up the big oven. But of course, if you don't have it, you can just use the oven, the normal oven. And so I'll wait. So I have to wait on it at least, I would say, if you can leave it overnight, you can leave it overnight. Sometimes when I need it quite quickly, what I do is I turn it on. When I feel that it kind of cooled down too much, I'll grab the tray of yogurt out, turn it back on, heat it up, turn it off, and then put the tray again. If you don't want to do that, just leave it overnight. And then afterwards, you're gonna put the jars. So you will have to check them. Check if they're still liquid, leave them. When it doesn't have, it's not liquid anymore, it's kind of like looks quite firm, then you put it in the fridge and leave it for at least 2-3 hours until it firms up, and then you can have it and you'll have delicious yogurt. I left the yogurt overnight, so let's check how it looks. It is set. It's ready for the fridge. So when you move it like this, it's pretty much set. Stick it to the fridge.